end goal with stand-up comedy is to be at a place where I can have, for the most part, complete control over my material, to really know the type of joke and the type of reaction that I want to get, because to me, I love that part. I also love being able to bring together a community, which is why I created the garage shows, to bring together a community to watch something that, you know, could really make their day or their week, something for them to relax and just turn off and enjoy their time.
Oh man, what's in there?
My man first, my joke.
Your immersed?
I'm a comedy nerd. I'd always want to watch stand-up and, you know, comedies and all that, and I feel like I'd always be drawn back to it. It's one of those things that's like, I would just be sick if I wasn't trying to pursue it in some way.
I have no idea what my seatbelt on. I don't see my money. I don't care about the money. I don't care about anything else besides entertaining people. That's what it is for me.
Hi, sweetie. You guys have a safe trip now, okay? Don't talk to strangers. Lloyd.
Alright, we're good.
Hey, don't talk to strangers. Now, don't stop at those roadside rests because I hear there's bad men there.
We're good.
I'm casual, man. I'm chilling. I don't have shoes on, just the way I like it.
Yeah.
Look at this little foot wave.
Can you fix the pillows softer?
No, I like the pillows.
No. What the frick? Why is there trash on the floor?
Well, he can't see it. Now everyone knows there's trash.
All right, what's your name?
Tommy McGuan.
And how'd you find out? Oh, wait, you're the
I made it.
You made it. Wait a second.
My name is Tommy McGuan. I'm a stand-up comedian, and I created the Garage Chronicles.
Okay, cool. Why did you decide to make a show, and why did you decide to make it in the garage?
Well, yeah, that's a good way to ask it, because there are two pieces to it. You know, like the first part was deciding, okay, I want to make a comedy show, and then the second part was, let's just do it in someone's house.
All right, you guys ready to have a great show? Yeah! You ready to have a great show? All right, listen, internal laughter doesn't get picked up by the microphones. So if you think it's funny, just laugh. I get it. I'm the warm-up, and you're like confused, and you're like, why is there a lamp over here? But if you think it's funny.
What got me into stand-up was I've been doing it for about 4 years or so now, and I've always wanted to do stand-up since I was a little kid. I remember being in the car with my dad, and he played a comedy album from John Panette. I really enjoyed his thing, and so I told my dad, like, I want to be a stand-up comedian. And he was like, you can't be a stand-up comedian. And I was like, why not? He's like, because they work hard, and they're funny. And he's like, and you're lazy. And I was like, oh yeah. So I just never did stand-up. At least not until I was 20. I was in college in Northern California. I came back down to LA to visit family on a holiday, and I told one of my friends who was doing stand-up that I wanted to try it. And he told me to come to his show and check it out, and he would tell me if my jokes were funny. I wasn't funny by any means, but I had 33 people come to watch, and the venue probably seated like 40. So, you know, I almost sold out my first show ever, and that kind of just inspired me to keep going.
2 years I did one tournament, and I got second place, which was pretty cool. But there was only one other person in my weight range. That other person was a girl. Oh, the sprinklers. Hey, just on time. Just in time for the punchline. Are they just going to go on the whole time? Right? Oh God! Is that the light? Is that how I know I've been going too long? If you've gone too long, then we'll turn the sprinklers on.
And so I started doing shows in people's houses and garages because I figured that that would be the safest place to just say whatever you wanted. The first show we actually did in someone's house was in Humboldt, up in Northern California, because I was also thinking to myself, I think I have more time. I think I could do like a 30-minute set, which is a lot of time for comedians. I had been doing stand-up at the time for like 2.5 years, and no one is going to give you a 30-minute set if you've been doing it for 2.5 years, unless you do it yourself.
So como se dice everything, put it in me.
So I was like, you know what, screw it, let's just do it in this person's backyard. If it sucks, at least they'll be fun, you know, at least they'll enjoy it. And I was hooked, you know, it was like this really warm environment. They were just there to enjoy comedy. And that was one of the first like organic audiences that I got to perform for. And then after that, I came back down to SoCal. I asked my buddy who's a fan of comedy, I asked him, I was like, hey, would you be interested in doing a show in your garage? And he said, yeah, sure, why not? And it turns out his garage was also one of his roommate's bedrooms. So we had to like move their bed and use their bed as one of the couches for people, audience members to sit on. But our first show, we had like 25, 30 guests. And we just kind of went from there, you know. Other people started just asking us if we wanted to perform in their house. And then slowly, we just kept doing more and more houses. We did warehouses, apartments, businesses. We just kept going. We just kept performing at all these locations. The community just kept growing and people were supportive of it. Comics were supportive of it. My mom started performing. We got everyone, literally anyone who even said to me, hey, I think I have a joke I want to try. I was like, dude, fucking do it. Like, we don't care. We're just having fun, man. So it's been really incredible so far.
Who invites you to the barbecue, Willie?
Nope.
Oh, no? He told me he wanted to invite you.
How do you want to invite somebody?
That's not. I
Tell somebody that they want to invite me,
Yeah.
but don't invite me. I want to invite Willie so bad. Invite him then. I can't. I can't just invite Willie willy-nilly. You can't invite willy-nilly. If you see him, tell him I wish I could invite him.
I'm on it, Chico.
I'm on it, Chico. Version of the Disney Club that didn't make it. About 4 more hours out. Hey, girl!
Oh, one look. Oh, I'm like that. He was right there in front of me. Hey, girl!
You know what it is? It's the wind. Just happened. I was looking up Humboldt.
Yeah.
This place racist as hell.
Is it?
You know that, Tommy.
No. I'm really clueless, to be honest. Like,
Really?
yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out my bit about it because when I was cause my homegirl went to school up here, and she was like, what the thing that she was telling me, I was like, what did you go to school in the 60s? Like in the 40s? She's like, they used to throw eggs at me, and you know, at the college they would sit there and call me all type of stuff and blah blah blah. She was like, but Humboldt is also very beautiful and has all these other things. And during the springtime, it's to die for. Like, I know these things about Humboldt. Then I started going down a rabbit hole I was like, oh shit, Tommy brought me up here to be a sacrifice. But for comedy, I'll do it. For stage time.
For the whole minutes.
I'll go get the guy really quick. You guys watch my stuff? Baby, lock and doors and turn the lights down low. That's all I got. A lot of people like to think, Tommy, how much gel do you put in your hair? My answer is none. All natural, baby. Every morning. This is how you do it. Turn up the volume. And don't forget the lotion. I use Mary Kay because my mom is part of their pyramid scheme. She gets me them for free, so pretty cool. The back's always the hardest part to get, but it's also the most important. Don't ever skip on the back. Okay, yeah, let's go to the country store. Steven says it's pretty good. Okay. Why is it worth it for you to go through these shows just for like 5 to 10 minutes?
It's the dream, man.
But help me bring up this next comedian. He's a good friend of mine. We've also gone to Humble together, and he's a father. Give it up for Andy Benedetti, guys.
Hey, it's that tall guy again. Everyone, I am very tall. There's some weird things that happen when you're tall. The other day, someone asked me, what's some tall things that happen to you? Do you hit your head a lot? I bet you hit your head a lot. I fuck your mom.
My name's Andy Benedetti. I'm a stand-up comedian. This is Pippin. She's a cat.
So, what got you into stand-up?
Well, as a kid, I was a big comedy nerd. Chappelle Show would come on late at night on school nights. So when I was supposed to be in bed, I'd sneak up and I'd watch Chappelle Show. And I got really into George Carlin later. And I was just this huge comedy nerd. About almost a year and a half ago, my wife got pregnant. That kind of put the pressure on it. I'd always wanted to do it, so it felt like a now or never kind of thing. And now I've been doing it for about a year and a half.
Alright. So what's your name?
My name's Andy.
And how'd you find out about the Garage Con?
I've been doing stand-up with Tommy for the past year, and booked me. He was there at my first ever stand-up set ever. So we go a little back.
How do you feel about the fact that it's inside of a garage and everything?
I love it. I love garages. I love stand-up, so you put them together, and it's my favorite thing. Where are you going?
You can't run away from sleep.
You're leaving your wife and your kid for the evening to go do this. How does that feel? Is it hard?
Yeah, it's motivating because that show better be fucking good. You know, it's one of those things that I'm very determined. If I'm taking time away from playing with my kid or talking to my wife, that's what that's doing. Is that I'm sacrificing that time I could be spending with them to go pursue this dream of mine.
Here she is.
And if I get heckled or just jokes don't land the way that I want them to. It's more motivation to work on those jokes and figure out why they didn't land, why the show didn't go the way I wanted it to. I want to get better at it if I'm gonna go take it seriously.
We were already eating, but Willie and Andrew were walking to the restaurant, and there are these two homeless guys, like, just asking for money. And I guess one of them said to the other one, he's like, "Another day in the office, huh?" And he's like, "Yup." That's funny, right? No, like, because their office is asking for change, so. Oh yeah, it is funny. That's a good one. But what are you doing today?
Already, actually.
What?
I said I'm amped.
Oh, you're amped. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's really funny. Are you gonna perform?
Hope I don't.
But yeah, we'll be there in just a little bit. I'm by a blue house.
So we'll wait at the house for you, and we'll get it all set up, and then we'll mosey on over to the city, the huge city.
Yeah, the big bustling city. Are there seals? Can we go see seals at the beach or something, or no?
You want to see seals?
What's up? Humble. Hey-o. Throw this stuff up.
That's our cute setup. You know? Can I grab? Got it?
I got it. Yeah, I slept there last time. So why are you interested in leaving your family or, leaving an opportunity to rest to do a show in a garage? Why would you do a trip to Humboldt just to do a show in a backyard?
Oh boy, there's a lot of good answers, I think, to that. Don't mind her. Stage time is precious. You're gonna want to do it, especially a road gig. I think this is my first time actually being on the road after a year and a half of doing this. It was my first opportunity to actually go on the road, and for a comedian, the road is huge if you want to actually do this,
Why is that?
Because that's how most comedians make their money. That's how they get fans. You gotta be all over the place.
The reason I took the trip to Humboldt was because I need to open up to a white audience.
This next comic, you've seen him on BET. Maybe not, this doesn't look like a BET crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, Willie Mack!
I'm gonna say some real stuff. I don't know how a lot of people are gonna react to it. I don't think everybody go to heaven. Let's be honest. My boy just died. His name was B-Dot. He died not too long ago, last month actually. And I went to the funeral. And everybody was crying. They was like, "Oh no, B-Dot's gone. B-Dot's gone." And his sister was like, "Well, he's in a better place." No, he's in a warmer place.
I am Willie Mack. I am a comedian, an actor, an investor, real estate person. I moved here from St. Louis. I was a preacher's kid and wanted to get away. I was losing my mind in St. Louis because there was absolutely nothing to do in St. Louis. And so from there, I needed some money. So I saw these gigs on Craigslist. I started applying for them, and one of them was this show called So You Want to Date My Sister, SISTAH. Like, that's my sister. So it was like this crazy competition show, and I was really funny on there. And this guy comes up to me afterwards, the producer. He's like, "Hey, we are casting for this other show called College Hill. It's gonna be on BET if you're interested." I'm like, "Yeah." All right. So that started my acting career, and from acting, the way that I got into stand-up was because I was just silly on the show and just a silly person in general. And they used to ask me to do all the radio interviews for College Hill. Like, "Hey, what's up? This Willie Mack from 106.9 The Beat Chicago. Hey, make sure y'all tune in to the College Hill. Hey, what's up? Philadelphia. It's your boy Willie Mack, College Hill. And I started being the only person doing all the drops. And then I started being the only person doing the interviews. And people like, you're really funny on the show. Tell us a joke. And I never had a joke. I'm like, man, y'all don't want to hear me tell no jokes. I did one of those stupid things. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to write my first jokes.
And how long ago was that?
This was 10 years ago. I've been doing stand-up for 10 years, but really focused in on stand-up like the past 4 or 5 years. The first few years, it's like you'd go up a couple times and just trying to fill it out, and then you get depressed because you bomb so much. You're like, I'm taking a year off, man. But then something hit me, and I was like, nah, let's go full force. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yep. Toothless Willie. I cried for weeks, and because I just couldn't understand it. Because this is the industry where your looks are just super important. So as I've said before, when you don't have your smile in the industry where all you're doing is cracking jokes, laughing, and smiling, then you feel like you have nothing. So my life just was like, and then you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get this job. And it's like, why is life so cruel? And it was so depressing, and I went through this whole depression. And yeah, I've had the suicidal thoughts. I didn't want to be here anymore. But luckily, Jordan dropped some new shoes out. And it's like, you can't be killing yourself and you got to pick up the new Air Force Ones and all that other stuff. It's like, Jordan, what? Jordan saved so many lives. So now things are definitely better. I've booked a gang of commercials and built my money up. And that's how I'm back to where I'm at now. And the best thing about all of this is to know that it is possible.
What are your thoughts on this, Willie, in this place?
This is very homey. I'm not used to seeing anything like this at all, which is kind of cool. I will say, I have been confirmed that Tommy can't dance.
What?
Those sweet unorthodox dance moves right there.
You gotta be a clock, man. You gotta keep it flowing.
Fuck this. Damn. That shit's hard.
Is it worth it to you to go through all the hassle just for that 5 to 10 minute stage time?
I just love it, man. I just love doing it. You know, like I don't really care where it is or like what audience we have. I just want to do it. I just love performing. Like the other night I did a show and it was technically canceled, but the comedians and I just decided to perform anyways in front of each other because we already drove out there and everything. And I had a blast. I had a great time, so I just love doing it, man.
There's one comedian, friend of mine named Chris, where I'm gonna steal how he explained it. Learning to do comedy in LA is like learning how to swim in the ocean, which is one of the best ways I've heard how to describe it. You're just out here where it's an entertainment mecca. You know, you're competing with so many shows going on. There are shows out there where you have to pay the club in order to do 10 minutes. It's a hard place to start, and it's hard to find stage time here.
Stand-up is my outlet. I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't, one, in the entertainment industry, and two, if I didn't have stand-up. It's crazy that we're all just one yes away from something huge. One day you're here, next day you're there, in just a matter of a second.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for having us. This is really great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm an alcoholic. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you for sharing. This is a really nice town. Yeah.
Would you like to say something on the microphone really fast?
Oh, sure.
Sure. I'm sorry, guys. You have to say something. Okay.
Alright guys, I don't have my contacts on and even my glasses, so I don't see your faces, but I hope you guys look at me.
This person gets on stage, says he started working at a farm.
I've been in this town for literally 1 week. I came from Australia with my girlfriend to find work, trimming work. But I love this place. This place is the only place in the whole Arcadia make me feel at least a little bit good.
And so this is all strung out over a rant of about 10 minutes. And I'm sitting in the corner losing my fucking mind. What just happened?
That's it for me. And yes, bless you guys. And thanks for me having maybe it was 2 minutes at the beginning, but maybe now it's 5 minutes. Thank you very much, guys. I love you so much. This Rasta guy is the dude. He is the dude. He is the dude. So please do it for him. He is the dude. And he can me so much. Just be careful because Ikea is really good vibes, but in nighttime it's really dark vibes. I saw the darkness. Whatever. Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
So I had to go up there and follow that guy. And there's no following him.
Let's see if you can follow that.
What just happened? Yeah, that. Every year? What do you do with this? I'm supposed to be a comedian. I don't.
I think you should just pick up where you
Right,
wanted to
right. I guess I'm very tall.
You wouldn't want to follow him.
No. There's no following.
I was amazed by his hair. He had like really nice hair.
You kept bringing it forward and showing it.
The CEO of the Garage Chronicles, all the way from Santa Clarita. One of my great friend. I love watching him and performing all this other stuff. Tommy McGuire, everyone.
Just for starters, I'm not Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones, in case anyone's wondering. I'm also not the gay dad from Modern Family. I'm also not gay. My dad wanted to know. I want to buy a tiny home though, you know? Like, has anyone ever seen tiny homes?
Yeah.
Those are dope, right? Those are so cool. Because like a tiny home, like they reuse everything, you know? Like they're, this is a table, and it's a couch, and it's my dog. I'm like, what? I
I watched one in Texas, and like, this is my sister, and it's my girlfriend. Like, you guys reuse everything. I don't even really feel like I deserve a home, though, you know? Like, my girlfriend wants a pug. Oh. Right? A pug. You get a whole backyard like this, and you put a pug in it? That's bullshit. They get tired breathing. They don't deserve this. Terrifying. I was in Vegas recently. Does anyone like Vegas? Hey. Yeah, that's cool. I don't like Vegas, but I was in Vegas. I was there with my family, and we were having such a great time that we went to the Hoover Dam. Yeah, but like 10 minutes in, I realized, I was like, you know, the most surprising thing about this dam to me is that beavers thought of this idea first. Like, beavers beat us to it, you know? Like, someone saw a beaver in the woods holding a bundle of sticks. And he's like, hey, beaver, where you going with all that wood? And beavers don't speak human, so he just kept talking. And then he laid it on the water. And then the water stopped. And he's like, that's a pretty good idea. Damn. That's a pretty good name, too. I think I'll keep it. That's how the answer is. This guy's awesome. He drove up with us all the way. I love him. He loves you. Give it up for Andy Benedetti.
I have cats. Anyone have cats? Anyone? Yeah? Cats? You like them? Yeah? You're wrong. My cats are mean to me. They're big bullies. They're big meanie pants. Like, when I was young, I really wanted to rob a bank. But now I'm older and I don't have the balls. So I just kicked my living room door down and just bust in there with a squirt bottle into my cats going, everyone down on the fucking ground! But cats don't look at you like, don't hurt me. They look at you like, fuck you, fat boy. Shut up, cat, I'm not even that fat anymore. I'm retarded, I lost a lot of weight. You always be fat to me, fat boy. You're the devil! Hail Satan, I'm a cat. Yeah, I really had to, you know, just buckle down, focus on being a dad, being a family man, really being sporty. I really miss Coke, though. I miss Coke so much. Yeah. I only did it once, but I really miss Coke. The one and only time I did Coke was my wife was pregnant and baby was coming. Like in a couple months. I wasn't like in the delivery room like, push! Wasn't like that. It was that my friend gave me this Coke and I didn't plan properly. So I just ended up watching the Titanic. And even on Coke, I hated that movie. Every time I watched it, I root for the ocean. The best part is that the ocean always wins. I'm married too.
Yeah!
Oh! Hey! You all married? No. Married. I like being married. My wife's alright, but I like being married. You get to experience like married people stuff, like married people arguments. Like I'll do one for you. What have I done? I'm gonna bring up your next comic. This guy's awesome. We've been on the road together for like 2 days. He's been on BET. Willie Matt!
When I told my homies where I was going, they was like, where the fuck is Humboldt? I was like, I don't know, but it's super far up. They was like, my friend looked it up. He's like, oh my God, the population of black people is 6. Then he refreshed the page and was like, it went down to 4. I used to hate bedtime stories because My grandma used to read bedtime stories to us all the time, but she would always fall asleep before we would. So I always thought bedtime stories had one sentence and ended up with the person that's reading it going to sleep. And she'd be like, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. And she would nose clean the fuck up, and I'd be up like, this is the worst story ever. It wasn't until I had a son of my own when I realized more happened in these stories. I was like, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Malcolm, this must be the sequel. My son goes to, he's in my shower, like he goes in the bathroom, takes a shower, and then all of a sudden I hear a boom, 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 boom. Like my son slips and falls in the shower. I go beat on the door, boom, boom, boom. Hey Malcolm, you good? What happened in there? What happened? And he was like, oh, I slipped out the shower trying to use the bathroom. I was like, no, motherfucker, didn't I tell you that men are nasty? What men do, we aim at the drain, we use the bathroom, and we let the hot water just kind of rinse this shit down the drain. And he was like, what? Is that what men do? She's shaking her head like, that is so fucking nasty. That's what we do. That's what, I'm not gonna say that's what all men do, because I don't want to ruin it for nobody in here, but there's at least 90% of men that at least use the bathroom at least one time in the shower. And I told him that. Oh, she like, yeah, huh?
Sometimes.
You do that too? Okay, so women are fucking nasty as well.
Every time. You can do it sometimes. You don't gotta do it every time.
What's the difference between every time and sometimes? It's not. It's like you can sometimes kill people, but you don't want to kill people every day.
I you every time. I want to clean after you every sometimes.
See, we don't, it's not like we tell you that we're peeing in the showers. Like
No,
we
but
leave.
I know. I know.
Please tell me this. How do you know?
You've been in a relationship for over 5 years?
Mhm.
Yeah, no.
So now I'm more curious, like this dude must eat asparagus all the time. And leaves his stinky piss. Like he misses the drain. He probably do one of these. Achoo! And somehow. Did you pee in the shower again? I don't want to keep cleaning this up. I told you sometimes. It's okay to clean it sometimes.
Stand-up comedy. You know, I love stand-up. I've always been drawn to it because it's just a person. You know, that's all it is. It's beyond the jokes, beyond the carefully crafted and honed material and the gags and all that. It's just a person up there speaking into a microphone. Like, can you get any more clear, like a perfect art form, you know, of expressing oneself? You know, there's no script. Sure, you need, you have to have a goal of making people laugh and all that, but to do it in the manner so many comics do of like telling the truth or uniting a whole crowd into agreeing or disagreeing or connecting and disconnecting, that's something really amazing to me. One individual could stand on a stage and change the way people think just by being who they are.